Welcome to your restorative practice. I'm Linsey Barusing, and thank you for joining me for Restore today. You'll notice that I have a couple of props, so I'd like you to pause this video and get one towel. I like a shower towel, and something that can act as a bolster. So I don't have a bolster at the studio today. I'll just use an extra rolled up yoga mat, maybe something a little bit thicker. Cool. If you have blocks, anything else that you like, you can grab those as well. Let's get started, shall we? For this first posture, I would like you to use your bolster straight up and down the back of your spine. We'll just lay on this. And I probably don't need this quite yet, so I'll just throw it out of the way. Base of spine, maybe not base of spine. Let's do right above pelvis here. The base of your low back comes down onto your bolster. Awesome. And then you can start anywhere that you'd like. Supta Baddha Konasana legs. Just a nice gentle heart opener here. And then when you feel situated and settled, just start to close your eyes and follow your breath with your mind's eye. There are no problems to solve. There's absolutely nowhere that you need to be. There is nothing you need to accomplish. You have one simple task during this meditation, this yoga session, and that's to invite in abundance. You've obviously cut out a nice little cup of time for yourself. And so just to be in every moment, not to let it pass you by, kind of like when you drive from work to home. Sometimes you've driven it so many times you don't even notice how you got from point A to point B. No, we'll notice everything, every single thing. So encircle the sensation you've got here with the mind's eye on the entirety of your being. How do you feel? Can you let your guard come down and to just trust yourself in this practice to lead you into wholeness, maybe even to trust me? Abundance is all around us. And when you notice that, you have the whole world at your fingertips. And so we start to notice all the things that we are abundant in, one by one, creating this rich tapestry of gratitude in our lives. There's this old saying, you don't know what you got till it's gone. That's so true. What if we were to notice the things before they were gone, while they were happening, while they were at our fingertips, here to teach us lessons and provide experience? I invite you to close your legs slowly and to just windshield wiper your legs very gently. My range of motion won't be much. You'll simply roll to one side and remove your bolster. Come onto your back. And now we'll simply do some arm stretches. That's it. Nothing fancy. I will sit up to show you. You stay on your back. From where you are, simply invite your right arm underneath you. And it might feel okay. Oh, did you hear that pop of my shoulder? It might just come down to the hollow of your low back, or if you're feeling a little bit more flexible, you'll come up toward like mid back here. And then with your left arm, I'm going to pay you to be a model today. You'll pretend you're in Bali, hand behind head, like you're modeling in the 80s. And perhaps that's enough, or perhaps you want to drape it down even more. Okay, so that's our shape. Come on down. And as you settle in, I want you to make sure your head is comfortable. So if it's not, you can take it on or off. You could even take your little pillow with your towel and then settle in. If you've got too much sensation, this will be a longer hold. I'd like you to lessen the degree in which you have come into it. Let's breathe in and breathe out to relax your fingertips, your wrists, your forearms, your elbows, maybe even your biceps, your triceps, your shoulders. And to just feel. We invite in abundance today, which means we do not focus on the negative, what we can't do, where we're restricted. We focus on places where we can positively affect change, places that are already optimal, places that have supported us our whole life. So keep your internal dialogue very positive. And if you notice that it ever goes into a negative space, you simply draw it back. It's sometimes easy to compare your body to what it used to be able to do when you were 15, 20, what have you. The comparison is the thief of joy. What's good about this right now? As we close in toward the end of this hold, there's really no force of the breath, but just to notice sometimes I hold my breath and I don't even realize it. Make sure it's even, lustrous, long, and supportive, right? It should feel like a supportive undercurrent to your practice. Swallow. Take the soles of your feet to the floor. Create a little space in your back so that you might roll out. Liberate your arms and just come to neutral. Just feel, let the blood rush back into your limbs. Let's switch our sides. Left arm comes down and around. Fiddle. Again, pain, not part of yoga, okay? So if you've gone too far, remind yourself we're not here to create more problems. We're here to come into wholeness. And then your right arm is your modeling arm today. Come on down and in. I'll invite you to take the same leg shape that you did on the other side. My husband was doing this posture the other day in my class, and he noticed that when he had his legs in the same position on both sides, he could more effectively tune in to the asymmetries in the sensation in the upper body. Breathe in and breathe out just to notice and to relax into whatever you find here. To let your top arm relax down and away. To untense your bottom hand. And to find so much weight in your legs and your head that you feel grounded, supported, secure. at the end of people's lives, when they're asked, many people say that they wish they had had more time. And so, why wouldn't we focus on the present? We have time right here, right now. Sometimes we're just waiting for the next thing to happen. Take your awareness around the entire body once more and just notice where you unconsciously tense up. It's popular for people to tense up at the front of their pelvis, front of their hips, their quads. I know a couple of yogis, and myself included, who tense up through my jaw unconsciously. And that fluidity, relaxed undercurrent of breath, now seems to swim out through all tissues, consciously soothing them, telling them it's okay to let their guard down just a little bit more. And the exhale is a beautiful place to let go in. To almost feel as though you flatten out like a pancake with every exhale. Again, to bring soles of feet to earth, to roll off your arms. And don't move them too quickly. Just stay here in a neutral position. Let yourself recalibrate. Can you feel the blood rush back into your arms? Let's grab our bolster once more and take it with us up into a seat. Cow face pose in a supported position. You can stay oriented on your mat the way that you were, but I want to show you cow face pose legs facing the camera first so you can see that your knees actually stack. So we just did cow face pose arms. We did this. These are the legs that traditionally go with them. Okay, they're not suitable for every body. So you could sit up on a block, or the bolster could go underneath your tailbone to dial you forward. I don't think I like that today, so I will use my bolster in one other way. And that is to come up over on. I'm actually going to do it this way. So you could have something like this where you lay down on it. You could have it here, which is kind of nice. But me, I want it for digestion. I want it to aid just a little bit in my digestion. So I will nestle it right in my abdomen and then hinge forward onto the bolster. Now, when your body says icky, maybe not, okay, because this is a long hold. So find where you need to be. This is just personally where I want to be. And then subscribe. Breathe in. Breathe out. If you've decided to use your bolster, let there be a gentle weight into the bolster, whatever skin is in contact with it. Let your tailbone drop back, even if it doesn't hit the floor. to create abundance in our life. We don't need more stuff. We simply need to tune in to what's already there. I'm sure you've seen people who have many material riches who are still very deficient in their soul. It's because maybe they have yet to recognize the real riches around them, the intangible things. So, in this practice, what keeps me present is just to name the things that I am abundant in. To recognize them is to be grateful for them, to be humbled to their presence. Maybe even seeing areas in your life where you feel challenged or slighted or mistreated, and to see those as opportunities, an abundance of opportunity for growth. These slower, longer holds can be challenging. Notice your power to not react when you feel pulled away. Maybe your child's asking you for a snack, or your cell phone is ringing, or perhaps you're uncomfortable. Choose to stay. This is a practice. Just like lifting a weight is a practice for one muscle or one muscle group, this is a practice in a multitude of things at one time. It's important. Stay with me. Before we move out of this, just trace your mind's eye around everything that's on your mat right now. See how you feel. We'll notice this side to the next. Come up tenderly. Your tissues have been stretched. Ah. And then bring your legs out. And you can popcorn your knees a little bit, or just let the blood flow naturally down into the stems once more. Let's take that on the other side, shall we? Let's make ourselves even. Left leg for me on top. There's a lot of meat that goes into this little pretzel of me on top of knee. A lot of stuff going on there. So if you need to roll anything outward, you could do that. Great. Again, if there's pain, maybe we come into something just a little bit less severe, easy pose, figure four. And let's find exactly what we need. What I wished I had last time was something comfier to put my head on. So this time, I'll just take my towel down here. Breathe in. Breathe out. If you have the bolster near your abdomen, you let that gentle airflow push into the bolster. Again, it's an organic sort of movement, so you're not forcing the belly to protrude, but you're just inviting a little massage into the bolster so that you've got your organs and your digestive tract actually being massaged in this posture. It's one really beautiful thing about yoga is it touches us in all these places where we can't actually go in and physically touch. It's like a good old grout cleaning of the inner space.
And as I say that, it's so much more powerful than those simple words because it could be merely getting something old out of my digestive system or some old energy pattern out of, say, my stomach lining or something, or it could really be like the grout cleaning of the mental spaces where I find I need it more. A soul cleanse. If you haven't already, your eyes are invited to close 9/10 of the way so that there's just a little sliver of light. I like mine closed all the way to just enjoy this space I've created for myself in this inner, more quiet practice. Allow your awareness to broaden to your entire body. Notice and compare to the other side. Doesn't need to be symmetrical, right? It doesn't need to be the exact as the other side. We use our sides for many different things, but just to kind of notice what you got going on. If you've got a side that is a lot tighter than the other, you might stay in those positions on that side for just a bit longer. Work into those tougher tissues and areas of adhesion, stagnancy.
Okay, let's rise all the way up. Again, just to neutralize it any way that feels good for you. And if you notice that I've got my phone by me, it's so that I can time our holds and we're more even than usual. Sometimes I get lost a little bit in the enjoyment of the practice and I need to check and make sure I haven't held you there for 15 minutes, okay? Okay, so I will give you options. There's an abundance of options today, but it's just because every body is different. So take your legs out long in front of you, invite your left knee into your chest. Great. Now, you'll just take half hero's pose here. Not for everybody, okay? So I want you to try both of these on before you decide to subscribe to one of them. This is half hero's pose. If you're here, you might even be able to lay down on top of a bolster behind you to intensify that stretch. Or today, it felt better, and I'll show you that just in case while I'm still here. Oh, okay. So this could be nice. Or it felt better for me today to actually bring my knee out to a 90-degree angle. Okay, so there's a backwards L here with my legs. Shin goes right underneath. So there's another 90-degree angle here and another 90-degree angle here. Ooh, that feels really nice in my hip. You can detensify by going to the right and intensify by taking your weight to the left. And my bolster and my pillow. And I am ready to hold. And I actually don't need this pillow, but don't make fun of me when I rise and I've got a big old circular stamp on my forehead. Breathe in and breathe out. If you ever find that you're in a space where it's hard to focus, if you're folded forward, you close your eyes. If you're back, put a towel over your eyes. Not only does it take away some of the external stimuli, but it also puts a nice weight and pressure on your head that can feel grounding, soothing, nurturing. Might even sound silly, but it's effective, at least in my personal practice. If there are any pain signals, please come out a little bit. You've got really expensive parts in your knees. And when I say expensive, I mean really expensive, right? You don't want to tear anything there. Be very responsive to your body. Start to discern pain signals from just sensation and restlessness. We're not here for much longer. Can you get heavier through your legs? Yin is so great for the body. Just these long holds, really, really effective. So if you ever feel restless, like you're not being productive, remember there's a wisdom behind the practice. You're doing so much just by doing nothing at all right here. Counterintuitive, but correct. Okay, let's check out the stamp on my forehead, shall we? Oh, you'll switch sides in your own way. Ooh, that was needed. Sometimes you don't even know you need something until you get there. Isn't that true? Okay, I'll shift. I like to shift myself to the edge of the mat where my long leg will be so that when I do take my knee out for this position, and my knee's out here, you can't really see, um, that it's still on the mat, it's still supported. There's nothing technically diagnosed wrong with my knees, but I enjoy having healthy knees, and so I like to keep them that way to support them. And then just settle in. When you land, breathe in, breathe out. You'll find your little Goldilocks scenario. Not too much, not too little. Just fade in. Do you ever notice the signals that you put out into the universe? Do you walk around open to good things, to possibility, to connection? Do you walk around closed off? Do you accept good things into your life? Or do you maybe think you're unworthy of them, unready? We just bring our mind's eye to these tendencies so that we might send the right signals out there. And it doesn't have to be hippy dippy, what do I send out into the universe? By the universe, I could mean your interaction with your mailman, right? Do you smile when you interact with people? Do you invite in good things from other people? So it doesn't have to be great, grand scenarios. It can be little tiny day to day things that shift as we open ourselves, as we let go of negativity, anger, resentment, fear, things that hold us back from the true richness of life. It's hard to open ourselves. It is. Because as you open yourself to good things, you might also potentially be opening up yourself to be hurt in some regard. But there's a beautiful book by the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu in which they speak to that and how really you're not living life if you're not open. You're skipping over all the richness that it has to offer. And it's so much more powerful than any negative that could ever come in, and how strong you are to let the bad things maybe bounce off or teach you things and then let go of them. You disempower them and you empower yourself. It's called the Book of Joy if you're interested. Nice, light, quick read. When you feel even, you'll come back out. Let's just fold forward, shall we? You can do this in a stance. I like it down on a bolster, so legs are a little further apart. Lock yourself down. And again, we're not trying. You're not going to get a cash reward for getting your temple all the way down to the earth or anything. And just settle in. And you'll notice mine is kind of messy. My toes will just come out to the sides. Settle in. Drop into the breath right away. It's second nature by this point. Let the quiet almost be soothing. The outside world is so noisy, so often, there's so much to take in. Can you relish the silence? I'm focusing on abundance this week because my mentor, Leah Lonkar, pointed out that she was living her own lesson in inviting abundance by paying it forward to other people. And I won't go into how or why, but she's a very smart lady and she teaches me new things every day. And when I thought about inviting abundance by paying it forward, I thought, how does that work out? And it's by not living in fear that you don't have enough yourself. By dropping away from a fear-based mentality, especially the way we're living right now, where I don't know how much toilet paper you're hoarding in your house, but many people have lots of things hoarded away. To know when you can share with others, almost trust in your abundance and your ability to attract it. And that's a hard line for me because as a very practical person, it's a fine line between trusting abundance and simply being prepared for emergency situations, yeah. And so I try to delve deeper into that lesson this week, inviting in any and all wisdom that comes with pondering what it is to invite abundance, what it is to contribute to others' abundance. For this last posture, you will need a wall, or my favorite is a chair, actually. I'll show you the setup and I'll pretend I have a chair here and I'll give you a few options. If you have a wall, obviously your butt will be up against the wall, legs up a wall. If you have a chair, You'll take your booty really close to the front legs of your chair and then rest your legs up on it. And make sure you're not holding your legs in one position, like you can really let go through your legs. So take a moment to get there. You want your legs to be able to completely turn off. Okay. And then wherever you've landed, you will take your towel and we're going to make our turban. So your towel will come long. I like mine folded in half. And almost like you're getting out of the shower. Men, you don't probably do this unless you have long hair, but a lot of us longer haired people do. You'll take it and you'll just wrap it around. But this time, we'll wrap it over my eyes. So up forward, wrap over, and you'll notice how it cocoons around your ears as well to kind of drown out the outside world. Awesome. Settle in there to whatever shape that you have made. And I want you to trust that I will bring you out in just a few moments. So, what I'd like you to do is pick one thing that you know you are worthy of to invite in to your life in abundance. Simply breathe it in, breathe it out, relax, let go. I will guide you out in just a few moments. Take your Shavasana. This quote says it better than I ever could. Wayne Dyer says, "Everything you need, you already have. You are complete right now. You are a whole, total person, not an apprentice person on the way to someplace else. Your completeness must be understood by you and experienced in your thoughts as your own personal reality." You're welcome to stay here in this meditation. You're perfectly prepared for just a few more moments of luxury and relaxation. So if you would like to stay, please enjoy. But this marks the end of my formal time with you. Thank you so much for your practice. Namaste.